How's it going, guys? It's Mike here again, and welcome to day number 6, scaling your ads. So a lot of people want to know how to scale their ads, so I'm going to talk about when to scale, how to scale, and why you should scale all the time. So first of all, we're going to start off by talking about when to scale. So as you've seen in the previous video where we actually talk about analyzing and tracking, you'll be able to actually eliminate losers and keep going with the winners really quickly. So winner campaign is simply a campaign with a positive ROI. That's a good campaign actually. A winner campaign is a campaign that gets a lot of sales and the ROI is really insane. It can be something like 200%, 500%, or even in my case, for example, with this campaign that we've scaled later on this account, we've spent, let me actually check. So here, for example, we had purchases, hold on, I think it's in free. Okay. Yeah, so we had, let me break down by age and gender so you can see. And we spent about, I think it was $1 to get 4 sales. So we've spent about, I think it was 4 sales here. So we got 4 sales here and we spent $0.97. So if you calculate that and 4 sales, for example, at $50, so we spent $1 ads, almost $200 we got back. So for every dollar we spent, we get almost $180 back. And keep in mind, when we get more data, then basically we're gonna get a lot more sales. So the more data we get, the more Facebook optimizes this. So what we've done after that, as you can see, it's really low, is simply started scaling that. So what exactly do I mean by scaling? Allow me to explain here. First of all, you want to make sure your ROI is good. Now, it doesn't have to be as good as this, but look to spend $1 and make $3 back, or $5 back, or $10 back, as high as possible. If you spend $1 and make $5 back, then that's okay. If your ROI is between 100 to 200%, and you can calculate that, then you'll do just fine. Now, how exactly do you calculate that? There's actually a spreadsheet that I use, and I'm going to attach this spreadsheet right here to this video. So I'm going to attach a spreadsheet where you can calculate your ROI. Just put your number of sales, ad spend, and then you will just basically get the amount of money you made from the ad and the ROI. So how exactly do you scale? Before we actually start, I want you to understand the logic behind it. So let me just write down when you scale. When your ROI is high enough, when you get consistent sales, and over 10k reach, or 20 sales, or 10 to 20 sales. So my metrics is this: if I get tons of sales and have a huge ROI, I'm gonna start scaling ASAP. But if I get just some sales and get some consistent sales, then I'm gonna scale only after I reach 10k or 10 to 20 sales. How to scale now? That's the interesting part. How to scale? So how exactly do you scale? Basically, there are 2 things. One, scaling up, 2, scaling out. Scaling up means raising the budget. So if you can see right here, my budget was, actually you cannot see the budget. Let me just bring that back to performance again. So the budget here, I don't think we can see that. Oh, we can. The budget, let me just go ahead and add that here. Oh, looks like it's here. Oh, there we go. The budget was $5 daily. The budget was $5 daily. Now, if you wanted to scale up, there's a few methods. One, and this is only if your campaign has one of these 2. So you want to start by scaling. I like to start by scaling up. So what I do is that I simply, actually I like to start by scaling out. So let me just switch those real quick. And we'll get to scaling up in a second. So what is scaling out exactly? Scaling out means when you take what you have currently and you just duplicate a lot of ad sets and break it down. So for example, in this campaign, as you can see, our interests, they were 18 to 65 plus, super general. Interests were Vegeta, Krillin, Trunks, just like the main characters of Dragon Ball Z. So I literally went to Google and I wrote main characters in Dragon Ball Z. And I got a list: Goku, Vegeta, Frieza, Gohan, whatever, all those characters in the show. Now, what you want to do simple is, after you have that big general ad that actually did make you sales, and this is just a proof that one big general ad can make you sales, it's how general it is, then what you want to do is break it down. So you want to start by breaking it down by ages. So for example, let's go into Power Editor. I'm going to show you right now what do I mean by breaking it down and how exactly you do it. Break down the ad. So I'm going to go to Power Editor. I'm going to download the Power Editor Deal Station really quick so I can get accurate data. Once I download that, once you have the campaign live on Power Editor, and again, you want to make sure you learn how to use Power Editor. I'm gonna go to my Dragon Ball Z hoodie WC, and here I have the campaign. So what I'm gonna do right now is that I'm gonna open the ad set. In the ad set, you actually have all the targeting. So what I'm gonna do it here is start by splitting ages. So A, split them, scaling out A. It's about breaking down the ads. So I'm gonna start with breaking down ages. So how do I break down ages? This is really simple actually. Breaking down ages is the easiest. All you want to do is go to split audience right here. You want to delete those, all of those, and you want to start splitting it down with a 2 to 3 year span. So you want to target 18 to 20 years old, for example, in one ad set, and then 21 to 23, and then 24 to 26. So if you want to target by 2 years difference, you can do that. If your ad is really from 18 to 65 and you have a lot more space to play with, then you can do 3 years difference. And if your ad is bombing and you get tons of sales and you know exactly what's working, then you can do with a 1 year difference. So I'm gonna do it with 3 years now. And actually, if you can see right here in the Dragon Ball Z hoodie, the ages that brought us most of the sales were actually 35 to 44 males. Okay, so these were males and they brought us most of the sales. So of course, what we're going to do is that we're going to put more emphasis here, and you want to actually look at the stats, where you get more sales, put more emphasis there. So until I get there, I'm going to do 3 years difference. So all you got to do is simply click add an ad set, and it's going to do it automatically for you. So I'm going to do that until I reach 35, and if I reach too much, then I'm going to do simply like this, and from 35, that's where I actually want to play with it. So let me just put that on 34 so we can be done with it. On the 35, this is what I want to do actually. So what I want to do is simply break down by 1 year. Why? Because the ad is working really well and we can really scale that part. So I'm going to do is simply go to 35 to 36. Okay, I'm going to move this one 37 to 36, and it's going to do 37 to 38, 39 to 40, and then it's going to do that over and over again. All you got to do is simply click add until I reach 44. From 44, all I gotta do is simply, I'm gonna show you again actually. From 44, all you gotta do is simply click 45 to again 48, and then click add ads. It's gonna do it automatically. So here we have 10 new ad sets, a budget of $5 each. The total budget for all the ad sets is $55. That means you're gonna ramp up your ad spend to $55 a day. Now of course you can start slower, you don't have to scale that fast, but the point here is, instead of really raising the budget and let Facebook get confused, you're going to keep creating targeted ads with a $5 budget that's going to bring you a lot of sales, going to bring you targeted traffic, and then you're going to scale up and actually raise the budget. But before we do that, we got to actually break down everything. So you break down the ad sets, for example. You get tons of new ad sets in. After you break down the ages, you can also break down other things. You can break it down by gender. So you can break down by gender, you can break down by, let's see here, you can break down by you can break down, not really break down, but scale out by location. So for example, if you're in the United States, you can actually check out what states perform the best, and you can actually scale up by states or scale up by, let's say, countries. So right now I'm targeting the United States. I guarantee you that if I make an ad for Australia, for Canada, for New Zealand, for United Kingdom, then I'm gonna get a lot of sales. You can also break down by location and even use other countries. A part of scaling out is also, and let me just make this list a bit more organized so you can see that. Just a second. There we go. So really a part of scaling in new countries is scaling out as much as possible. You want to maximize the results here, And when you just raise the budget instantly, that doesn't work. So really the best way to do that is this. Now you can also try new interest. So you can also try new interest, and of course you can break down the interest. So what I want to do is simply make an ad set with every interest. So for example, here in ages, all you gotta do is click here. Here in gender, all you gotta do is simply click here, then click duplicate ad, and then change the gender if you're targeting men and women. Okay, so all you do is simply click edit audience, and then you see that I'm targeting also. I'm gonna make an ad for men and an ad for women, and of course you want to actually name it in a way you understand it. So let's say I want to break it down by gender for my first ad or my second ad. So all I'm gonna do is simply click here, duplicate, keeping the same campaign. I'm gonna create the same another one, and in the ad set name right here I'm targeting 18 to 44 males. So I'm gonna do is simply change it to woman. There we go, and that's how you do it. You click save. Here you change to woman 18 to 44, so you can have reference of what exactly this ad set is, and that's it, you're done. It also create automatically the ads for you. That's how simple it is. You want to break down ages, gender, location, new countries, new interests, break down the actual interest, You want to break down everything that's possible. So you can also break down Wi-Fi, change, like have an ad set with Wi-Fi on and with Wi-Fi off. You can also do that with let me think, a lot of things. You can also duplicate something really cool. If an ad is working really well, all you gotta do is simply click duplicate and make simply a copy of that, and usually that works awesome. Okay, and then you want to scale up. After you have all of those, you're probably gonna have, you can even have hundreds of ad sets. Okay, you can even have hundreds and hundreds of ad sets that's going to perform well for you, and you want to keep tracking of those. So for each of those ad sets, if they don't perform after a day, maximum 2 days, sometimes even a day, sometimes 2 if you see good engagement, but if they don't perform after a day, shut them down, and those who will perform are going to get you so many sales, it's going to be insane. After you have those, what you want to do is start scaling up. So there are 2 ways to scale up. First way, raise the budget with small increases. That means that you want to raise the budget of the ad by $5 each time, not $5, but $2 each time, by $2 each time. Now this method I found to be the safest. You just raise the budget by, for example, to $7, and then you click upload changes and you're done. But this one I found to be the safest, and it works really, really well. So you can keep scaling, keep tracking daily, and see if that works for you. For example, day 1 you're $5, day 2 raise it to 7, see how it works. If you keep getting sales, keep it up, raise it to 9. If you keep getting sales and ROI stays steady, keep it up. And you wanna make sure to use my ROI spreadsheet that I'm gonna give you in the description below. B, you have the doubling method, as I like to call it. So what you want to do there is simply double the budget every single day. So if first one, for example, is day 1, you're spending $5. Day 2, you're gonna spend $10. Day 3, $20. Day 4, $40. Day 5, $80, etc. And I know it's been working really well for some people, like Justin Sander, who's doing crazy numbers with Facebook. I think he's doing a couple $100,000 a month. So that also works really, really well. And both of them works well. You can rotate between the both, try them out, and check it out. In addition to that, if you have a successful campaign, you can also try, different ways to scale. Because scaling is not only this. Scaling means simply taking what you have currently and taking it to the next level. So different ways to scale. You can start doing retargeting. So you can start doing retargeting to those who don't buy. You can do product catalog sales. So for every one who purchase, you can actually retarget them with few more products in the same category. You can do different products in the same niche, because right now, for example, here's an example actually from a store from Ben and Mike. So Ben and Michael, former students, now we're working together on a big course. They had a product that they sold. It was in a specific niche. I don't really remember the specific niche, but they had a product they sold and they got thousands of sales to it, and the pixel data, as you can imagine, was amazing. From there on, every single product they released in that niche was successful. So the pixel game is strong here. You want to make sure that, you know, when you have a successful campaign, that you actually max it out and get the best results as possible. Okay, this is pretty much how you scale. This is pretty much the idea behind scaling. So I hope you learned something. I hope that you're excited to scale. And really, all it takes, you gotta remember, all it takes, I'm gonna write it down in capital letters, all it takes is one campaign. All it takes is simply one campaign to succeed, one campaign that you can sell, you can scale, that's gonna make you tens of thousands of dollars. Okay, so thanks for watching this scaling guide. It was a bit quicker than most, but this is pretty much how you do it. I know I've been faster, but I just want to make sure that I don't overwhelm you with information. I want everyone to get the most out of it. I know some of you don't even know what the Power Editor is, so simply start learning. Start learning the tactics. Start learning the technical issues that you might encounter. Start learning everything else, and you'll succeed faster than you think. So thanks for watching the video, and guys, please comment below if you have any questions, if you want to ask me anything, and also if you want me to make a $23,000 case study of the store that I sold. So a long time ago I sold a store after 1 month of setting it up for $23,000. Now it's not as most people think, it's been done a bit differently than what most people think. So if you want to learn how I did it, then let me know. If there is enough demand, then I'll actually make the guide, since I wanted to keep this private, but I have no problem actually releasing it if you guys get enough value from it. So thank you for watching the scaling guide, and I'll see you tomorrow.